Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Corrective Lenses Podcast. We're back with another episode, and guess what? It's our first repeat guest. Joining us again for this podcast is Mike Siaperas. He's a good friend of mine, and he has basically everything he's touched has worked like gold, whether it be in the med business, in saving our forests, or in his other endeavor, building a ranch to serve veterans who have served our country. And that's what we want to talk about today, is the Range Valley Ranch and the nonprofit foundations who have found this as a dedicated haven to help veterans returning from service transition back into the private sector. Mike, thanks for taking the time for this.
Well, I'm starting to get used to this, Chad.
I want to talk for just a second about your ranch. This is a place that as you grew up, you could look to. There's a quote in the Bible, I look unto the mountains from which my salvation comes. Have you always had an affair with these mountains from the time you were a little kid?
Yeah, I mean, as long as I could remember, one of my dreams was to own mountain property for some reason. I'm not a beach goer. I stay away from sand, but I love the mountain. And so, yeah, I mean, I think about 12 or 14, I was dreaming about having a ranch somewhere. I worked on a ranch in my junior high days out in Colorado. I'd leave school, get out of school in May, and we'd go work there every day until I went back to school, earned $50 a month, herding sheep, herding cattle, putting fence up, doing whatever we needed to be. And I thought I was a millionaire back then, but it helped me fall in love with what it is about up here. And so I look back on those days thinking $50 a month. And I loved every minute of it.
Well, that's a dream that stayed with you for a long time. I know one of your high school college buddies, Leo, has talked about the fact that you were always telling him you were going to own a ranch.
Yeah, I was all talk until 2007, I guess, right? So yeah, just had an opportunity, and yeah, I mean, it's a dream. It's hard for people to see that come here today. They don't know how much has changed, right? So yeah, there's a lot here. There's a lot. Well, I was going to buy the ranch originally and sell it 2 years later, thinking that the value was going to go up. I've sunk so much into it, heart and soul, money, that I'd never let this place go now. It has everything. It has my family cemetery, right? So how can you leave that, for sure? But yeah, no, love of mountains, love of outdoors, love of wildlife, all of it.
As a kid, did you ever actually come up the rickety road to Bruin Point?
I never did. Didn't even really know it was here until early 2000s. I always knew the asphalt mine was here because my dad, as a kid, grew up in Sunnyside. He was born in Sunnyside. He used to ride those old asphalt buckets as a kid, probably 8 to 10 years of age. And so,
like a little gondola ride?
Yeah, they'd let him, because it was gravity fed, right? So the asphalt would go down, they'd come down empty, they'd go back up, and he used to tell me that for the longest time, and never drove up and actually showed me where it was until I had some hunting opportunities in the early 2000s to lease some land up here to hunt on, which at the time didn't produce much hunting because it was a mountaintop of overgrown forest. But regardless, I got a chance to see that and obviously embrace it. And I know my grandpa back in the day used to herd sheep up here with all with my dad and uncles and everything. So there's something here.
So you do feel a real strong connection.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the cemetery.
Well, cemetery was created because, again, when you have such an emotional attachment to land or property like this, why would you want to be buried anyplace else, right? I mean, you had a lot of great people out there to be buried in a cemetery next to, but for me, it was something that was very, very special because, you know, having a cemetery with just your family members in it is pretty cool.
Well, that's pretty much old tradition until we started getting big cities.
Yeah.
Is that your grandma and grandpa were buried out in the corner of the yard. You could go out and talk to them when you felt like it.
Yeah, and all the headstones looked like they came out of the western days. I didn't do anything really fancy, just split a rock in two and carved it. I have my uncle, my grandpa, my dad, my brother, my mother, and my dog that grew up on the ranch with me. And one day me, I'm sure. Well, maybe. But it's kind of, you know, I built it specifically for that memory, to keep them up here with me. Interesting enough, I spent a couple of weeks looking where on this mountain would I put it. Had 3 or 4 different places picked out, and then one day I was I was in my bunkhouse. I stay in a little bunkhouse, and I opened up the blinds and I look up there on the mountain. I don't know whether it was a star or something, but it was shining right kind of through my blinds. And I thought, well, there's a place. So I went up there and cleared some trees and put a cemetery. It's not very big, but I don't have a huge immediate family anyway. And so I put them up there so that at night, now I have LED lights that come on. So when I rest my head down on the pillow at night, I can see every one of my family members with LED lights on. It's kind of, when you wake up at 2 a.m, and as old as I am, you wake up more than that. But so it's kind of nice to walk out on the front porch and see that, and even with my head down there, it's special for sure.
Yeah, I think that really, somebody listen to that and go, this is kind of a spiritual guy, although they would never know it from meeting you.
Oh, God. I don't know. Maybe it was my early Catholic days. I'm being a reincarnated Catholic. Something, I don't know, spiritual. Yeah.
Well, what kind of impact do you think that had on your upbringing?
Oh, everything. Yeah.
I mean, you were an altar boy, weren't you?
I was. Yeah, altar boy. I went to a Catholic school that had, I think I graduated in 9th grade with 13 people. So wow. rural America, small town, priest and nuns. Yeah, the whole. Yeah, I came home in my uniform with a lot of chalk marks on me because the nuns would throw erasers at me when I'd misbehave. So yeah, all that.
What you're saying is your uniform was mostly chalk marks.
Pretty much. I think I'm trying to give back as much as I can spiritually for all the things I messed up on in Catholic school or church or whatever.
Tell me the story about the ranch when you first purchased it and came up to look at it.
Well, when you have a dream and a passion so intense, it doesn't really matter what you buy. I mean that seriously. Oh, I can buy this. I don't care what it is. It's mountain ground, right? And I think there's a lot of people out there that actually have that, especially nowadays. Who wouldn't want 5 acres, 10 acres, whatever it is, right? A place to go and get out of what's going on in the world. So when I had the chance, I was, I don't know, let's say stupid. I'd been on the property before, not to hunt, just to camp because there was nothing open. Right. It was so overgrown, and I didn't know anything about what was going on with the forest at the time. So, yeah, when I bought it, it was a mini dream that I was going to fulfill, but I had no idea what I was in for and what it took to actually turn this place around and make something successful out of it. Had no idea. So it was a slap in the face, slap in the pocketbook. Pretty much everything that went wrong. I don't mind making a fool of myself once. Second time around, not so much. But so yeah, no, I learned a lot. And some people said I couldn't grow alfalfa at 10,000 feet. Well, that's wrong. Some people say I can't regrow aspen with the method I use. Well, that's wrong. And the wildlife up here is crazy. So I think every step that you take that provides a success that you don't see very often inspires you even more.
So you have a confidence. I mean, I don't want to be too political, but it's kind of a Trump-esque confidence that when you figure something out, you just know it's right. And they were talking about that on the radio today about, Trump and Iran. A lot of people just would never have had the guts, but he just knew it was right and it had to be done.
Right.
And I think you've looked at that and figured stuff out up here, and you've just done it, and you haven't really cared what people have said.
Used to. When you care what people say, what you're doing, because again, I think we've talked about this in the last podcast, but yeah. I operate on the fringe. I can't stand the middle because the middle seems safe. It's like sitting in a pool and sitting in the 1 foot end and saying I'm happy. Well, there's no adventure if you don't dive in the deep end, right? So, yeah, I'm full of spit and vinegar for the most part. Been proven wrong many times, but I don't know whether it's the older I get, I see things clearer. Maybe the older I get, I'm around people that have inspired me or I've learned from. I'm still learning every day. But yeah, no, I put my mind to something. I usually try and make it happen.
So you got to a point where, you first started just pushing stuff over here and making the place you wanted. And I mean, I'm sitting out here looking and, the breeze is blowing and we're at 10,000 feet. And I just see an ocean of really healthy looking aspen that you created.
Correct.
And this you look over here and this is what was, and you turn your head 80 degrees and this is what is. And it's astounding, and it probably has baffled even your critics, I would imagine.
Yeah, all the critics, they'll be baffled. But, your comment about never consider myself in the category of Trump by any means, because he's a little crazier than me. But in the beginning, I took every critic to heart. And then I started thinking, well, wait a minute, what have you done to change the environment other than maybe get a job and read a book?
Write a paper,
right? And that's fine. There's room for that. And that's just not me.
If I ever get a chance to do a podcast with Alan Savory, I'll make sure you get to come along.
Perfect. I love that. He knows what's going on, right?
He's got it figured.
Yeah, so critics left and right, but they criticize from their chair somewhere, because when you come up here, it's hard to criticize. They can still do that, but I've come to the conclusion that I'm just going to continue moving forward at whatever pace we need to move forward at, and I'm going to bring people along or I'm not.
So at what point were you working on your own property? I mean, I kind of know the story of how you said this just isn't fast enough, you got to find a better way, and that was really the birth of 106.
Right.
But it seems to me like there's something, and tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems like you saw this work, and like the Old Testament says, it was good. You saw it and it was good.
Right.
And at that point, I think I'm not sure, but you now want to share that. You want to share it as far and wide across forested lands as you can, and literally give it away. How did your head get into that place?
How did my head get into changing the way I was doing things?
Well, yeah, and
speed?
wanting to build something and then share it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that, first of all, I decided to come up with 106 because I needed a different method, because it was pretty much suicide every day the way I was doing it before.
Yeah?
Yeah, I ducked my head a lot when trees were coming my way. So, yeah, I mean, it was more life-saving than anything at the time. And then obviously, back then I was doing an acre a day. You can't really change anything in this, what we need treated in an acre a day.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. So you have to come up with something that's able to do treatment at a rate of speed that we can do everything we need in a period of time. Pace and scale, I've said it a million times. But yeah, my passion grew, and it was, I could see what was happening, and people were seeing it too, a lot of people. And you were one of them. You didn't know what to think when you came up here, right? It's a unique method. Again, totally fringe. Been done before. I just tried to perfect it as best possible. And then it makes a believer out of you, and living it's a different story than sitting in an office in Salt Lake writing about it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, I'm very glad that our county seat show came up here, because it really it changed a whole bunch of stuff in my head almost instantly.
Right.
Let me switch a little bit. How has that work changed the character of your ranch?
Well, it's changed the character of the ranch because obviously wildlife was the first thing it changed, right? I mean, the fire part of it was always needed, right? But at the time I didn't have any structures, so a fire was going to happen, right? Now you have the fire mitigation. It's kind of funny. It's really neat when you can do one thing in life and it solves multiple problems. What we do is not in a silo, right? And you don't know that till you do it, right? So I'm out there doing fire mitigation or wildlife habitat restoration, and then all these, I mean, obviously when the wildlife came in here, it was insane, right? I mean, there was times that, with no deer on the ranch when I bought it, and now they're all over the place, and the elk now are taking over the ranch. There's more elk on it than there is deer now. But I think when you see that, it's got to inspire you, right?
Oh, I couldn't see how it wouldn't.
And I hired some consultants that told me they were professional consultants on what I should do. And I don't know, they weren't fringe consultants. They were just consultants, I think, well-intended.
Do you screen better now? If you're going to hire a consultant.
I don't hire consultants anymore. I just go try and do something. If it fails, I won't do it again, and I'll fix it. That's all. Yeah, consultants are, I guess it depends. There's some good ones out there, but You can't hire a consultant that is in the middle.
True.
And there's no such thing as a fringe consultant. They're crazy, right? I mean, the ones in the middle are just, anybody can do their job, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So that still doesn't answer the question. How does this ranch feel differently to you in its current state versus when you started?
Well, it's a sanctuary. I mean, I used to be a big sportsman, hunting and everything. I can't hunt anything on this ranch now. When you provide the habitat, you provide the resources for wildlife, right, to flourish. Yeah, like I said, my whole opinion changed. I was going to have this cool hunting place, right? Well, there was no hunting on it, so I had to create it. Once I created hunting, I didn't want to hunt. So every action has a reaction. So, I mean, to answer your question, yeah, my whole intention with the ranch was completely different. And now there's this paradise. I have a lot of people that come up and actually see it and love being up here. And then to add the veterans to it really put me over the edge when it comes to that. Yeah.
How did that happen? That this ranch that was, originally going to be your paradise for you and your friends to come up and hunt and catch trophies and all of a sudden now it is a sanctuary built to help people who've been in harm's way.
Just had some good friends that invited me to some events, met some great people. One of them obviously was Donnie Edwards from the Best Defense Foundation. His foundation primarily focused on bringing World War II veterans to Normandy. Mm-hmm. Obviously respected everything he was doing. He's just charismatic as they come. Had a chance to kind of get in the inner circle there and feel everything he was going through. And then, like I said, I think that there was one event I went to that I donated some money when he was in a position that he needed it. And we've become friends. And then I said, hey, I've got this ranch. You want to bring some people up? And he said, well, we need to bring some people up. And there was nothing really other than some little bunkhouses and some RV trailers at the time. So every minute you spend with the veterans that come up here, you just get inspired by being around them. So it's not me sitting up in the middle of the night writing my inspirational papers. It just happens being here. So the more I get involved with the veterans, the more I see the need is out there, and I see the holes. And so turning this into, obviously my vision is always 25, 50 years down the road. Seeing this place where every veteran that's ever come through here can think of a place they always has as a sanctuary, a place to come back to if they need to heal.
Yeah.
Now that's just a week, right? So now the next phase is you bring them up here and have them heal for a week or have them understand there's people that care. Well, they got the rest of their life to deal with. So my next big venture is post-care, trying to make sure every veteran can always call Rains Valley Ranch their home. Whatever that is, they know that they're part of a community somewhere that exists that care about them and can come up here anytime they want. So,
how much has this ranch grown from the time you bought the first parcel that you had previously
it's
leased?
grown. I mean, it started with 600, then bought another 600, bought another 500, bought another 100. I don't know. We're up to about 1,900. So, and trying to buy more for opportunities for veterans because again, I don't hunt. Whatever we buy up here, if it's hunting ground, veterans are going to hunt. Right, because we need that. Obviously, in the background, they can fish here.
Yeah.
Which,
by the way, comes as a result of your forestry work.
It does. Yeah, I know. Like I told you.
You might explain that in case somebody missed the other podcast.
Well, I don't know if you've seen any pictures out here, but if you've seen pictures to our right over here, where it's an overgrown forest, there's not a lot of water going down to the aquifers there. When you do remove the trees and the aspens come back, you still have trees. You just don't have trees that are sucking up the water. So again, to prove a point, like I need to, people said that what I'm doing up here won't regenerate water because it hasn't had 452 studies on it. 10 studies isn't good enough. So I went down off the hill, filed a water claim down there. And where the water never was going, it is now because of the treatments up here. So now I'm pumping water. I did this for a reason. 10,000 feet. If you obviously do good forest management, there's water to pump up to let the veterans fish, which is kind of it's more symbolic than it is anything.
So you're only pumping a fraction of what your springs are now producing.
Oh yeah.
Because of your forestry work.
Yep.
How much do you think you could pump?
Oh, time of the year, a lot. We could have one of those wave pools for you if you want. If you want to challenge me, I'll get you a wave pool next year. No, I mean, there's 500,000 gallons in here that we keep.
Yeah.
And we can pump 24 hours a day. We usually just pump off of solar now. All the tanks are full. We actually have underground water systems.
Yeah.
The underground piping system that we go, pretty much a mile away from up here to water wildlife. I mean, they get fresh water every day if they want it. We're just moving it from one spot to the other.
They're so healthy, they don't know what to do with
They're
themselves.
healthy. They're fat and healthy. I always want to come back as one of my animals on the ranch.
So you bought Bruin Point.
I did.
Which probably alarmed some of the locals.
Most of them.
Because I know they've been worried about gated roads and stuff like that for years.
Right.
And then you turned right around and made a monument out of it.
Correct.
And so I don't know if the viewers of this are familiar with your flag, but you might tell us about that and what your grand vision is, because you now have acquired a bunch of property for a wild horse sanctuary.
Right.
So kind of fill me in on that end of it.
Well, like anything else, I was persistent with the people that owned it. And yes, the people that owned it were there for minerals. Mm-hmm. They weren't a surface owner, really. I mean, they did own the surface, but their main function was what was underneath the surface, because asphalt mine has tar has oil. Whatever's underneath there is pretty valuable, I'm sure. But so I was able to purchase the property. The main reason is because of the asphalt mine, because my dad used to ride there in the buckets. I thought that was pretty cool that I could do that. But byproduct of it came at the very top of the mountain, because Bruin Point is the highest point up around all this whole plateau, which was kind of neat. The tallest. It's not a peak by any means. It's 10.2, but it's flat. And happened to be driving around and found a makeout point. Do you remember those in high school?
Yes, most of them had city lights below them where I grew up. But
well, I don't know if this one had city lights, but it was truly a makeout place. You could tell because of the beer cans and the campfires and whatever else was there. You could tell it was a party place, right?
Yeah.
And so the people that came before me thought, man, this is a heck of a view. The view was just, I can't match that view anywhere. And so I started thinking, wait a minute. So I'm working with veterans. I was actually able to buy a top of a mountain, and I'm kind of a patriotic guy.
You are that.
So why not put a flagpole up there that people can be proud of from the county, the state, and the world? But what for the veterans mainly, I put it up there, and had no idea the impact of a flagpole. Didn't know at the time till we were putting it up, but the fact that it's a 165-foot flagpole, 15 feet in the ground, 40 by 80-foot flag, it is known to be the world's tallest in elevation, largest permanent flagpole in the world that's a U.S. flag. Now, there are flags at Mount Everest that says U.S. on them. They're not permanent. They're stuck in the ground. And we obviously light it up at night. And it's, I knew it would be neat. I knew the financial investment was worth it. And I had no idea what it would mean to the veterans.
What does it, I mean, you actually do flag raising ceremonies for them.
Right, by accident.
By
yeah, when you're out on a point at 10,000 feet,
yeah,
pretty safe to assume that the wind's going to blow.
Yeah.
And it's not going to blow at 2 miles an hour. It was well planned for the flag, but not raising it or taking it down. And a 40 by 80-foot flag weighs over 100 pounds typically, depending what it's made of. And a 100-pound flag, when it blows, it blows. So we always thought, wouldn't it be neat to bring the veterans up here, and as they're driving up the mountain, they can see in the distance this beautiful flag at the top of a mountain, and be inspired by the drive up, right?
Yeah.
Well, that didn't work the first day we had a group, because the wind was blowing 45 miles an hour and you couldn't get it. There's no way you could raise that flag. So we thought, well, okay, we'll do it the next morning, because they were interested in seeing the flag. The wind died down and all the veterans came up to help. And it was like, I couldn't believe. I thought, wait a minute, this happened by accident. We're supposed to do it ahead of time, because we're supposed to be ready for them. They weren't supposed to have to do the work. But boy, oh boy, when that first flag went up that time, and I saw the veterans taking off their hats, saluting, hands over, and they, some of them obviously came to tears, and there was such a quiet there. Like, okay, what just happened, right? So that was created once, and it's so easy to create again. And so we made it part of our stronghold programs with the Best Defense Foundation is we raise the flag. Now we have NFL players that help, and so 15 to 20 people up there raising the flag is a lot safer than 3 people.
Well, so now you've even added an element of music to it and everything?
I have. Yeah, the music is, got a big old boombox speaker up there that probably you can hear it from miles away, and we play different music as the flag's rising, and it's obviously more emotional that way too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, one day we'll just do it all automatic, but it's pretty neat. And then obviously taking it down, they open it and they take it down, and they we got a kind of a cradle to grave, kind of a filling there.
Yeah.
And then the next group comes and puts the next one up. So it's pretty neat.
You even beefed up the flagpole.
Yeah, well, the first one blew over.
Was the flag on it?
No, it was in February when it's 10 feet of snow up here, and you can't run a flag in the winter that big. It'd tear it to pieces. But
oh yeah.
No, just the wind at 110 miles an hour, they estimated. It's still down off the hill if you want to go grab it for your yard.
Might be a little big for mine.
I figure 25, 30 years from now, we'll build a little trail down there, and somebody will say, this is the idiot that put the first one up that blew over. Hopefully that's the first and last that blows over.
This is the final
resting site.
This is
re-engineered.
You can tell the whole story. This is the final resting place of the original flag
right.
that brought prosperity to the mountain. They can make a legend out of it.
I think it needs to be staying there.
Yeah, I like it. So, what's over here then? You're going to build another monument. Tell us about that.
I am. It's actually over there, but it can be over there too.
Well, you just moved it today twice.
No, I didn't. It's all down there. I'm moving it. I'm trying to have this very amazing place because, so I was able to purchase about 500 acres of, let's just call it wild horse property. Only reason I'm calling it that is because there are deer and elk and obviously other wildlife, but it comes with about 50 wild horses. There's probably, I'm not the best one I've heard 350 to 400 horses are on this mountain. So as a rancher, I'll be honest, I didn't like wild horses because they tear the fences down, they destroy my troughs. It's like I was like any other rancher. It's like, we don't like wild horses, come get them. We don't want them. And interesting enough, everybody that came up here, they'd say, let's go see the wild horses. They cared more about the wild horses than they did the deer or elk.
Uh-huh.
Picked up on that was the big deal, right? So when that opportunity came up, I thought, it's a private sanctuary for wild horses, elk and deer and mountain lion, whatever wants to live down there. It's going to be a private sanctuary, but what a neat place. It's a long ways away to get to. When I say long ways, probably an hour on a dirt road to get to it. It's out on a flat plateau that nobody else can get to, very remote. It's got water on it. So I'm going to start doing habitat restoration down there to keep to mix the wildlife with the wild horses, which may not work. I don't know. Wild horses might overrun it. If I get the other 300 wild horses off the mountain there, we'll see. But right now we're trying to do studies down there to see if we can successfully have wild horses together and potentially help the migration path of the deer become healthier before they go to the winter range. So a lot of stuff going on there, but to make a long story short, that's not what you asked me. I just rambled. What I want to put down there is because of the hilling that I've seen with the horses, I'm going to put a 60-foot tall statue of Jesus, the cross, not Jesus. Mm-hmm. And it'll be lit up at night, and you'll see it off the back deck of the lodge, and that's where the wild horses will be. And
then they can walk out to the front deck and look on the same axis.
Correct.
Right at the flag, huh?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to figure out, it all comes back to God, family, country, right?
I'm glad you brought that up because then I didn't have to ask that question.
Yeah, I don't know who invented God, family, country, but man, it's a deep-rooted saying, isn't it? So the flag obviously was my country, right?
Yeah.
I was missing God, so that'll take care of God.
And the veterans are your family.
Veterans are the family. Yeah, plus my cemetery.
Yeah, well,
God, family, country. My new family's the veterans. The rest of them are buried. It's the only family I have left.
Are you an orphan?
I am now.
Technically, I guess when your mom passed, you were an orphan, huh?
Well, I'm not an orphan. It just means my mom passed. I had one brother that passed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have no siblings left
No.
and no parents.
No parents.
That would make you an orphan.
I'm orphaned? Do you want to be my dad?
I'm old enough.
How about my grandpa?
I'm not that old.
Okay. I'm just testing it. You offered. So, yeah. I mean, I have a daughter and grandkids. So,
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, yeah, no, it's cool when you get to that point in time in your life and everything you've worked hard at, you can share. I just don't think enough people share.
How does that make you feel to dedicate yourself to making this special for the veteran? Because, Mike, there are veteran programs everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's gotten on a bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
But this is I've watched this develop in the time that I've known you, and this is not a bandwagon. Oh yeah, I want to do that too. This ain't a Me Too thing. This is very differently motivated.
Well, yeah, it's veteran-centric. How's that for a word?
I like it.
Everything we do up here involves veterans, including the forest management part of things, trying to get veteran jobs there, right? I don't have a need to go out and start a company to do forest management, but I want veterans to do it. How did I learn that? Well, veterans come up here and see this, and this is what they want. They want to be away from the cities. They want to be with their crew, their team, and be able to change things, change the forest, do things for a living. And it's a great fit. Everything's there. So yeah, I mean, I just don't think, I think 50 years down the road, I've got to solve the solution for 50 years down the road, and that's what we're working on with the veterans. And you're right, I donate to veteran organizations, right? There's a lot of amazing veteran organizations, but it's a little different up here just because it's more of a veteran home. It's not a retreat. Don't
Right.
call it a retreat. It's a program, and it's just unique, right? And it changes almost every week, right? We
Well-
got donkeys and horses coming in.
Don't tell Rhea about the donkeys.
Donkeys are coming in because they're supposed to heal veterans too. So we'll see. Everything we get, I mean, sooner or later, we've got to stop some of it.
A group picture down by the cross
Yeah,
with all the donkeys around it with
Perfect.
their little crosses on their backs.
perfect.
It is a very Christian thing to do.
Well, definitely represent God, won't it?
It will, without a doubt, do that.
Yeah. Now, whether or not I ever decide to have a Christian music concert down there, we'll see. It'd be great for a flyover video concert, but
Yeah, probably.
I mean, things evolve, just like the flag, the cross will, and then we're doing a huge memorial, kind of like Stonehenge. We're going to do that at the asphalt mine. That asphalt mine's been around since 1890. It has so much history. We're trying to bring it back to its original condition as much as possible, and then take its next history in life, which means it was an asphalt mine for all these years. It sat dormant for a lot of years. Now it's going to serve veterans as a memorial. And if we can make something look like Stonehenge, maybe 2,000 years from now, they'll come back and see this. How'd they do that? We won't build pyramids because I still don't think anybody knows how they built the pyramids, do they? Veteran pyramids, we could
Right.
do it.
Yeah, you need more flat land for that. You'd
I
have to
find
buy
it.
the neighbor's property.
Yeah,
But Stonehenge would work well over there at the mine.
it'd be neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but ideas cost money.
What are your future plans here at the ranch? If all of the stuff that you're doing is for veterans, what are you going to build next?
Something more for veterans. More of the same. More land. I need more land.
Do
I
you?
think, well, 2,000 acres, some people can say, well, that's a lot of acres, and it really is.
Yeah.
But for the ranches up here, it's not. I mean, I'm one of the smaller ranches up here, but I can't provide the opportunities I want recreationally for the veterans unless I have more land.
Okay.
Right. So, I mean, we're in the process of, we've got some mountain biking trails converted to archery courses.
Right.
We're working on ski resort this year. We've got a professional government snowboarder coming out to help us design courses for handicapped veterans. So that opens up another winter opportunity up here, which would be amazing.
Can you get up here in the winter?
Well, we got snowcats and snowmobiles.
Hmm.
Yeah. Unless you're going to buy me a helicopter, that'd be nice too.
Yeah, well, don't hold your breath.
Booth helicopters.
Billy Boys.
So yeah, I mean, these are all ideas, right? And I'm moving them as fast as I can. Obviously, we have some great donors that are starting to help, and that's going to help get us to where we want to be. Because we need a wellness center for the veterans right now. I think that's huge. I think the ski resort's going to be huge because that's just a numbers game now. Instead of 150 veterans, now we could maybe do 300 or 400 veterans, right? And then maybe once we perfect this, then we go to another state and do something very similar.
Sure.
Right. So because it can't all be done here.
No, and you probably wouldn't want to exactly, but
Yeah.
That you raise an interesting point, is that this is a viable place through your foundation for people to make contributions to move this vision along.
Right.
How do they find out more?
Well, my foundation is Lannis USA Foundation, and so we don't do the typical fundraising where we go out there and do auctions or ask people. At least right now we don't. The board of directors are very very giving donors, very VIP, let's call them that. They've embraced what we're doing for veterans, and they're wonderful people. And so right now they've been the core donor to what we're doing. Obviously, the Best Defense Foundation, it's their veterans that they put here. They're the people that vet the vets to run through the program. So obviously that comes from there. But yeah, I mean, there might be a time we do fundraisers and try and get that so that some of this other stuff can be done instead of just put it on a smaller group of donors. But yeah, I mean, Atlantis USA Foundation is what we do to make all these dreams happen.
And the ranch is the backbone of all of it.
Ranch is the backbone of all of it. Yep.
Well, Mike, thanks for spending time on this breezy day at 10,000 feet.
I do it all the time, Chad.
That's why you're so dang healthy.
You think?
Yeah.
Not bad for 89?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
That's
your age. Sorry, I get us confused.
Well, I appreciate it very much, and thank you for
thanks for having me again. So one more time, and I'll do the trifecta?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, well, when you see cougars prowling around the mountains, that's probably time to come back and visit again.
When we get the ski resort done, I'll come bring you down on a snowboard or something.
Okay, that sounds good.
You can do a show on that.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I'll need a handicapped one by that time.
Well, that's what we're doing. Thanks,
right.
Chad.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in. Remember, check back often for new Corrective Lenses podcasts. We're trying to build a library. We've got a bunch of interesting people in line. And share it with your friends, because that's how people get the word about the good things that are going on in the world around us, particularly when you look at things through corrective lenses. See you later. Bye.